We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his third year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry, 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Ross Dwelly. 45 yards, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
It's never any fun, Brandon, when you're the defensive team and the first drive of the game, you give up a touchdown. The key is not to get down. Make those adjustments and come back for your next series with the intent of shutting them down.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Seattle Seahawks 7-2 through 9 weeks of the season. Their offense coming back out here. You know, Charles, this Seattle team looks really good. We talked about Russell Wilson, how good he's been. Where's the weak spot for this Seahawks crew?
Believe it or not, consistent pass rush. And the reason I say believe it or not, when you think of the players who are along that defensive front, it's a surprise because they've gotten Jaron Reed back. He missed the first 6 games of the season. Remember, he was double-digit sacks in 2018 at defensive tackle. They've added Jadeveon Clowney. Defensive end, consistently presses for 10 sacks or more in a season. Ziggy Ansah, who when healthy, is a double-digit sack guy. I think as the season moves on, it would not surprise me at all that that pass rush gets ramped up a little bit, and then Seattle will be really difficult to deal with.
Week 10, how about this battle playing against the undefeated 49ers? That's going to be a fun one.
That's going to be an absolute blast, and that's a good time for their pass rush to emerge against Jimmy Garoppolo. But first of all, they better stop the run.
Waiting.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson, and it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now it's Wilson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target, and that'll bring up second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
I'm darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Wilson throwing again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. On 3rd down, Wilson completes it to Dixon. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They run it with Carson, and they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And Myers able to knock through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. 49ers coming back out here on offense. We mentioned their 8-0 start to the season. They actually broke an 8-game losing streak to the Cardinals when they defeated them.
8-game losing streak?
Yeah, they had lost the Cardinals 8 straight times.
That's 4 seasons worth.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then a 28-25 victory this past week snapped that. But it was also the first game this year that the Niners have actually thrown it more times than they ran the football, CD.
And that is something that I think people are starting to come to grips with about San Francisco, because you think about their head coach, Kyle Shanahan, and his reputation as an offensive wizard. And whenever we hear that, what's the first thing we think? Throwing the football. He's always been a run-based guy, and he wants that running game finely tuned because it travels late in the season and it travels through the playoffs. And that's what leads San Francisco. They had to go the other way against Arizona in order to secure the win.
Well, if the Niners have it their way, the only travel they'll be doing in the playoffs will be to Miami. Because as it stands right now at 8-0, they would play at home until that point.
And why Miami?
Super Bowl.
There you go.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Here we go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up.
Here we go. 180. Mike 54. Check.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Garoppolo now. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The protection up front, very good on that play. Had all night to throw the football, even though he was unsuccessful.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They run with Breida. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get
no chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
But that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. The 49ers have Richie James back deep. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Right, here we go. 180. 54 Mike. Yo.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
180. 54. Blue down.
This is Breida. And just shutting him off there. And they work this out past the 25. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. They were probably just looking for a couple yards of breathing room, snapping the ball at their own 2. Well, they got a lot of breathing room.
And even knowing that offenses are as aggressive as they are now in the NFL, you still expect them to run the football in that situation. Why weren't they ready? Instead, it turns into a monster gain and gets them way from the shadow of their own end zone.
They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. This one complete to Coleman. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11. Samuel, the 36 overall pick in last year's draft. Played his college ball at South Carolina. Really good senior campaign. 62 catches, 882 yards, and also threw in 11 touchdowns for good measure. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's got this down to the 35. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
I'm coming after you.
Garoppolo again. It's caught by Coleman. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Got his left. Everyone got four down.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. This is Coleman with a grab. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Garoppolo to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. Offensively, pretty good execution. Long drive, chews up the remainder of the first half clock, and they finish it off with 3 points.
And what's the best byproduct of the whole thing besides the fact that they got points on the board? They didn't leave the other team any time to mount a drive themselves.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
A good pickup there, a 22. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They get just 2 out of it there, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 35 on second down, Wilson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 17-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. From 17 yards out, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
This is Coleman. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here, and I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Now it's Carson, and he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wilson sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Draw play. This is Carson. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
380.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close,
Here we go,
you
here we
got
go,
to
here we
feel
go.
there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's Breida. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Here we go, here we go. Like 20!
54. All day, dog.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida finding room at the 30. And nothing but daylight ahead. 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, 83 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Wilson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A gain there of 21 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now it's Wilson on the move to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 31-yard line.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Come on now, let's
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
You got nothing.
From the shotgun, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And down inside the 15 he goes. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Myers connects on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make-or-break onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
54 Mike. Hey, let's get in that holes. Check.
On 1st down, here's Breida. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. And San Francisco gets set to go here. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run again with Breida. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game.
Here we go. 180!
Mike, 54. Stop your whining.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
Here we go. 180!
Crunch time, defense.
Man.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice.
Here we go. 180!
All day, baby, all day. Double tight. Double tight. 4 down. Check.
Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it. So the victory here for San Francisco, and you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.